So this is part two because I didn't realize my video went that long. And I do apologize. But to continue on where I left off, I finished step two, and now we're going to step three of implementing our plan. So step three is actually create the goals and talk about it that we talked about in step two. We want our goal is we want to solve the attendance issue. We solve the attendance issue, student development and achievement will go up and improve. That's why that matters. What major areas that require us to make changes? What in our school do we need to change, or in our community do we need to change that mentality? And right now, with this in mind, we have the right direction of where we're wanting to go and where we want to be. Step four, roll this plan / mission out to the people outside of the team who can help spread the word. So yes, you have your advisory team, but you can't do that. This plan can't succeed unless you get help from the outside. And you need to look at which people will be most influential on the community, on the students, on the parents, and so on. So obviously get community members. Like I mentioned before, the community liaison are huge people you want to get to help buy into this. They talk to the parents, the community members to help build that support. You also obviously want to have the parents. You want to have your faculty on board, because if they're on board, then that's a good start. And that will help maybe make some changes in the school. Students may want to come back to school if they have teachers that make them want to be there. That's not always easy, but that is a reality. Teachers are part of the reason why students want to be at school. Coaches can have a huge impact on these students. So if we wanted students to play football and sports, then they need to be at school in order to play. I mean, it's that simple. The AD should not be allowing the quarterback to miss school so he could rest. That's not how that works. In most schools, in my school growing up, in the school I'm at right now, as a coach right now, the rule is if you are not at school in the morning and you are not to school by the end of second period, which is 10 o'clock, then you are not allowed to play in your sport unless you have a valid excuse. That is that. No questions, no ifs, no ands, no buts. Like I said, these people will help drive the mission. Without them, you're going to be stuck in the water. Excuse me. Step five, we need to gather the data. We need to use the teams that we have to help gather data. Look at the demographics. Look at surveys, the perception surveys that we have from the students, from the community of our school. Look at assessments, whether they're school or state or teacher assessment, whatever that may be. Look at them and use them. Step six, analyze and create your solutions based on all the data, all the people you have involved, everything right now. Now you have the chance to put your plan into motion and create a solution based off everything you've collected. So use the data to start making a change. I personally am for creating intervention teams within the school to help address the students who are at risk. Identify these students. Get teachers to buy in and work with those students. I am part of the team at my school, and I do that. And I don't even teach a lot of the students I work with. A lot of them, what I've done with them is I've had them buy in with me. I've had them come work in my classroom with my students, and they love it. And it really does help. You need teachers from all departments, though, to help those students and identify those students at risk the most. We're answering the question at hand. How do we fix our attendance? How do we stop the high absentee rate? We want to create a culture in our school of improvements in all areas. And we have to remember that attendance is the only way students have a chance of improving their development and learning in the school. If they're there, then there's a chance that they're at least going to be there to learn and learn something. If they're not there, then that goes right out the window. So plan A doesn't work. There's always a plan B. Now, plan B for me would be a lot of reworking, because if you, like as I mentioned in past posts, the school I work at is a school of over 2,000. So the plan that I put in place would be a lot of it you could still use, but there would be some things you'd have to change because of the size of the school. For example, you would need more people in the school itself on the team. Our school has 5 administrators, including our principal. You would need to get some of your assistant principals on board this team to help. The superintendent might be a little tough, especially in my county where we have 66 schools right now in our county. So he can't be at, looking at just one school all the time. You also need to find more teachers in your building who are eager and willing to help roll this plan out. I mean, in our school, there's 140 some teachers, and on some of our teams, they're very tiny. So you need to get more teachers to buy in and to help. Excuse me. Like I said, I definitely keep keep the smaller intervention teams for students at risk. Right now, we have 3, but for all different kinds of interventions. But I would definitely keep those in play. They do work. I have seen them work. One of the biggest things you have to remember is, so for this plan to work with Oaks High School, you need to have patience. With a school like mine, like James River High School, you need to have patience, and even more patience because of our size. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in a week. Probably not going to happen in a month. You're going to have to give it a few months to a semester for your plan to actually work. And you also need to be willing to make changes along the ways. Little adjustments here and there like that. And the last point is you have to get your whole faculty on board to help back you up. They need to buy in. They're buying in. They're going to make some changes on their own. They're going to find ways to help keep their students in the classroom. They're also going to be more inclined to not do what Great Oaks did, not let teachers just excuse absences or overlook them. Teachers have to buy in. And if they do, then they're on your side and then you're in the right direction. So in conclusion, in the end, student attendance is without doubt very important in the student's ability to learn. If they're at school, they can learn. If they're not probably learning anything. I mean, even though right now we're in online classes, I've spoken to some of my students who I coach, and they've told me they haven't learned anything like they would in the classroom. And that makes sense. It's a weird time. Also, the issue is if this issue is not dealt with now, it's only going to get worse, and it's starting to be very noticeable as it is for Great Oaks High School. And if it's not dealt with now, it will just be that much harder to fix later on. If you don't address a problem, the sooner you address it, the better. The longer you let it go, the worse off you'll be. And in order for this to work, you must have buy-in and the support from all areas related to the school. The community, the school board, the teachers, the students, the faculty, everybody that can be tied to the coaches, everyone that can be tied to the school needs to buy in order for this to work. It's the only way it will actually truly work. Without them, this whole plan was a waste and it was doomed to ever succeed from the beginning. So like I said, if you get all these people to buy in, then you're on the right track. Thank you.